Hi everyone, welcome back to Entity Studio. Today's piece is called Resolutions. It's in keeping with the theme of my previous video, Celebration. I figured I'd continue along the same track. It's basically the beginning of the year, so resolutions are still very much on people's mind. Not necessarily for me, but for a lot of other people I know. I didn't really plan for this to be a series, but it looks like it'll be one because I have quite a few more sketches related to this theme. There are a few things that I wanted to focus on for this piece. Cartoony characters is very much what's been on my mind lately, so it's a lot of what I've been sketching, and then also elements of designs for characters. I'm not really a designer, but I do like to create characters, and so I try to use some design elements when I can. So a few things that I kept in mind during sketching was the overall shape and shape language, the straights versus curves, the trying to overall get expressions correct, and colors, because I'm really bad at it. So for the overall shape and shape language, neither character is a villain, so I went with the more rounded shapes that are associated with heroes or happy-go-lucky type characters. More square shapes are usually considered more solid type characters, and more sharp, angular, triangular type characters are considered more villainous. And so I went with obviously more rounded because my characters aren't really villains, but they've also got some sharp edges because they're not all good either. So the cupcake can be considered the antagonist, but he's not really a bad guy, so I wanted a more cylinder shape with sharp edges. And of course the champagne glass is mostly spherical because, well, it's a champagne glass. For straights versus curves, just as an FYI, straights versus curves is basically just a design tool used to contrast the character silhouette and help make them more visually interesting and appealing. So I used more of a contrast in the lines of the cupcakes. Like the entire top of the cupcake is basically all curves, and then with the bottom half it's very angular, and I tried to put some sharp angles in there in the form of curves just to change it up a bit, make it a little bit more interesting. I also added sharp curves to the features, like the cupcake's eyes or the lips of the champagne glass, for the same reason. So I used the straight edges and curved edges to definitely emphasize that. Also the bow, the change in direction and all the sharp edges that were used in that one is along the lines of the straights and curves that I was trying to keep in mind, and the overall arc of the champagne glass as well. Trying to get the expression right. I wanted to make sure that there was a connection between the two characters, so the eyes focusing on each other was a big part of that. I wanted there to be a contrast in both of their expressions to highlight the emotional struggle between the two of them. And because they obviously don't have any arms or legs, I wanted to make sure that there was some way to emote. So I used the bow to try and show that the champagne character was trying to run away. And finally, colors. The struggle is real. I used the previous piece that I did to create a color palette for the champagne. I changed the bow color to make it a little bit more vibrant this go round. I knew the cupcake was going to be a blueberry flavored cupcake from the start, but I didn't expect the wrapper to become a problem when choosing a color. I just hadn't really thought that far ahead when I was doing the sketching. So I used a hue slider to try and help to figure that out. It was still a bit of a struggle. Ultimately, I just went over to Pinterest and looked up some ideas for wrappers and colors and stuff, and I found a dark to light ombre wrapper that I really liked, so I went ahead and used that as the inspiration for the bottom part of the cupcake. And those are basically all the things that I really tried to focus on while I was working on this piece, and keeping it also in line with the same character style that I did for the first one, and the sketches obviously to come for the other ones. I also tried to keep them all within the same realm of the characteristics and theme and that sort of stuff. So that's basically it. I'll let you guys get on with watching the rest of the time lapse. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.